What are your guys' experience with using social media, and what is your advice?
I believe, like anything, there's pros and cons. I think that there's a lot of good that comes with social media. A lot of, very powerful movements that have spurred out from it. But I really think that, again, you just need to be careful. There's a lot of the perfection out there, right? All these curated, Instagrammers who just make the perfect looking life on social media, right? We all compare. That is a natural thing that we human beings do. And so when we see all this perfection, it is so natural for us to be like, oh, I'm not that. And so I know I've been there, and just that scrolling and scrolling, going down that deep hole of just like, I am not any of this. And I think we just need to be careful to like, okay, I'm going into this, social media, and just be cautious of what's there, right? Like, ooh, this is a beautiful photo, right? But what went behind that photo, right? Because we've all seen our selfies, okay? They don't come out that perfect. So, just be cautious.
I started doing this thing where I take morning walks and I Instagram the flowers that I see when I go for walks. And I'll share it on my story, and someone will message me and be like, oh my gosh, that's such a pretty flower. That was really nice to look at when I was drinking my coffee this morning, instead of some unrealistic model picture that now makes me feel bad about my body. It's an entire world of there's so much education that can be found there, and so much beauty, and it doesn't have to be about selfie and vanities. It's a way to see the world and expand your world, and just remember that.
I think we can all say I'm guilty of it too. I think it was maybe this past year, especially since Maddison just did a feature, I'd always feel so just anxious and on edge, and it's a horrible feeling when you feel like your body's just tense all the time. And I'll be honest, I actually had to take some counseling sessions in therapy, learning why is social media bugging me so much. I feel like if I don't post, it feels like I'm not fulfilling or doing something with my life, which is I think that's such an inner thought, I'm sure has crossed a lot of your gals' minds, or people in general who use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So I think what I started finding a lot helpful was limiting social media use. I actually was told by my counselor, check in the morning, just check it. I can tell you not to check it, but just check it and then go through your day. And if you need to check it again, check it at lunchtime, check it at dinner time, and stop checking your phone. So it's still a technique I'm still trying to work with. I noticed that keeps me more, I think something that you both were saying about staying in the present, not getting, I'm guilty of it too, going down, the dark hole. If you're I don't look that way. Oh man, today I didn't do anything today. I was just in bed watching Netflix, and this person's on set, this person's out at a word show. Man, I'm not doing anything. And in reality, it's the same thing. You don't know what's going behind, someone who's at that red carpet. You don't know what they're thinking, or if, who knows, maybe they're having an anxiety attack before the red carpet because they're nervous to be there. So I definitely think, social media, it's a great source with promoting your work, I think connecting with friends, family.
Great point. I feel very disconnected to my social media, even though I have 3 accounts, and one of them is my literal job to post every day. I take a lot of pride in knowing that I'm still a really cool person without my social media, so I don't depend on it. Something that I do recommend, and something that helps me, is curating who I'm following and making sure it's people that I feel uplifted and inspired by. I follow a lot of plus size, bald people of color that are really hot. That could be a little vain of me, but it's what I like to see. And other than that, it's my friends and my family. And I don't know, I just keep it really anything that I see on my social media is not going to upset me, because I've already made it so specific to what I want to see and what I like. And that can be a little okay, it's a little sheltering, but I think in the social media space, especially my Instagram, I'm gonna keep on there what I want. Another thing that I do recommend is, we were just talking about getting like bad comments from people, like trolls or just like haters in general. Deal with that however you need to deal with that, and don't feel bad about things. I have people that will sometimes be like, oh, you'll delete comments, you'll do this. Like, if somebody leaves a nasty comment on my Instagram, I will 100% block them and delete them. I don't care if they're 5, I don't care if they're 65, negativity in my life. If that was an actual person, I would delete them out of my life, so you will be deleted on my Instagram. So, however you need to deal with like people being haters or trolls to you, do that, and that's okay, and that's your mental health process through social media.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of negatives about social media, and there are, a ton of negatives, but for me the positives completely outweigh the negatives, at least in my situation, because by using social media I've been able to reach so many different people that I would have never been able to reach had it not been for things like Instagram. And, yes, I get so many hate comments, so many people say, oh my god, you're too big to be dancing, you're terrible, whatever the comment is, yes, I get a ton of those. But the one comment that says, you inspired me to get back into dance, or you inspired me to wear a two-piece for the first time because you're so confident. Things like that is what stick in my mind, not the person saying, your outfit's ugly. And, okay, it's my style, like, your face is ugly, I don't but, so I think of it as a positive thing. I associate social media with positive, just because, no, it hasn't been a smooth journey, but the ups I have had are so worth it, dealing with the downs. And then also, just as a note, I feel like kind of the same message that they've all been saying, but social media, especially Instagram, you have to realize it's someone's highlight reel, okay? They're not going to be posting when they're crying on the floor, okay? And they're, face tuning it, whatever, and doing all that. And I feel like we don't think about that when we're scrolling. We're just like, oh, you're so pretty. And then we're like, oh my god, I'm not pretty. And we get into this whole, spiral down the drain of why we're not good enough. But at least for me, when I see those pictures, I do sometimes get a little okay, I wish I looked like that, or I wish I was doing that, because that's cool. But then I realized that, at the end of the day, they're probably not as genuine as I am, and so at least I know that what I'm putting out into the world on my social media is authentic, and it has a message, and it has a purpose. I'm not just doing it to look cool or for clout or whatever. I do it because I want to be able to inspire people like you guys, and not to, just show off. Period.
Speaking of advice, what is the most important piece of advice that you've ever received?
Kind of like what I literally just said, but literally the same thing, but a little different. But I would just say that be authentically you, because even if people don't like who you are as a genuine person, at least you can go home, look in the mirror and say, I am who I am. I'm being myself, and people might not like it, but at least I can be proud that I'm being me, because I'd rather have people hate me for who I truly am than have people like me for somebody I'm not.
I feel like I've gotten so much good advice in my life. Something though that has really helped me is that I feel like from a very young age, my parents really taught me to not be afraid to be a leader, and to know that I am naturally just going to lead the pack in whatever I do, and I will not be a follower. And I think about that, especially in therapy. I've been talking about it a lot lately. But I think having that mental process of you don't have to follow, you don't have to be like others, you can set trends, you can set the standard. since I was young was something that I think is really important to me.
Something I learned not too long ago, actually, was a mutual friend, one of my best friends I met like at a dinner party 2 years ago. She DM'd me something like about, hey, I'm so proud of you, like congrats on it was like I posted a red carpet photo, and I was like, thanks girl, you're like the, one of the few people that congratulate me. And I think I just found myself venting to her, it's like, she's so sweet, and I agree with what she told me, and I still think this holds for anything, even non-work related, is pray for your haters. I think if someone's hating on you, whether they're socially trolling you or if they're being mean to your face, especially, I was just telling Maddison outside, I had this happen recently with 2 friends. They're like, you think you're all that because you post about like your work, and I'm like, no, like I tagged you because you're part of like those projects, like what? And I think instead of like trying to like sit there, scratch my brain, like, well, why do they hate me? Like, what did I say something wrong? Should I delete all my? I was even thinking about like deleting like all my pictures on Instagram for 1 second, and it's so sad that like it has to get to that point. So it kind of makes me go back to what now I can call her friends, Mercy was telling me, pray for your haters. Just, I think if someone's reacting that way, whether they're leaving comments on you or telling you to your face, you're all that, you think you're cocky or conceited. I think personally they're just going through something. I think they're not happy with their lives, and I definitely think it comes down to it's a reflection of how they feel about their life. And I think it's definitely, praying for haters gets rid of like a lot of the anger and even hatred and dislike towards someone that you might not be a fan of, but I think it's something, or going something personal if they're reacting that strong.
I love everything you guys are saying. I'm just getting inspired hearing all this. So for me, I think the best piece of advice that I ever received was from a mentor of mine, and she said, you have a right and a responsibility to ruthlessly protect your happiness. And I love that because sometimes we throw out happiness as sort of like this extra word, like I have all these things I have to do in life, and if I end up happy, cool, but it's not really on my list, so I'm not getting graded on how happy I am. But she said, not only do you have the right, but it is your responsibility to protect your happiness. And that goes in line with, what you were saying about removing people from your social media that are toxic, that are harming your mental health, removing people from your life that are just, causing you to feel things that are not okay, that aren't in line with your beliefs. And it doesn't mean that you have to isolate yourself, but it does mean that it is 1,000% okay to look at a situation and weigh where your happiness, which includes things like your mental health, your physical well-being, all these, your spiritual well-being, all those factors that make you a happy whole human. That should be the first thing that comes to mind, not what your friends are going to think, what your parents are going to think. So just as from a practical standpoint, when you're faced with big decisions, start throwing that into the equation. Like, does this make me happy? Is this harming or helping my happiness?
For me, I don't know as far as like advice. I've been told really good advice for my life as well, but for me, like when the question was asked, I went to this compliment I got, and till this day, it is still the best compliment anyone has ever given me, and it is, I am a reflection of your light. And I was like, but I thought about it, and I was like, that's really powerful, because I think we, in our own minds, right, we get all this, like, I'm not good enough in this way, I'm all this right, negative self-image. But to go around and truly believe that all the beauty that you see is within you. And to walk around, and so her giving me that compliment really helped me see the world through that. So when you see in others, the kindness, the love, all of it is inside of you. So remember that.
I have a question for Jolie. What is the biggest thing you want readers to take away from your book?
what I want you guys to take away is that the journey to truly loving yourself and being the most authentic you is worth the journey, because it's hard, right? And the negative messages never really go away. I'm a lot more confident than I was at 13 years old, but I still have a lot of insecurities. But truly teaching yourself how to love yourself is worth it, and you're worth